Hi friends. Are you looking for some gentle exercises that you can do to relieve a stiff and achy lower back? Well, if so, you're in the right place because in this video, we're going to do just that. My name is Sarah and I'm a Pilates instructor, and I've learned firsthand in my own workouts and in my sessions with clients which exercises work the best when it comes to making your back feel better. And I'm going to demonstrate those in this video today. Now we're going to start with some gentle stretches because in the fitness industry, we often say what's not moving is what can cause the most problems. And then later in the video, we're going to progress to some gentle and effective core strengthening exercises. So stick with me to the end. Now we'll be using a magic circle or sometimes called a Pilates ring in this workout. But if you don't have one, you can certainly follow along and do this video without it. There shouldn't be any problem. So I'm going to start lying down on my mat. Knees are comfortably bent. You can certainly use a small pillow for under your head if you have a tighter neck and upper back like I do. And then we're going to start with some gentle pelvic rocking. So again, my knees are bent and I'm just going to rock my pelvis back and forth. And what I mean is your low back is going to gently reach into the mat, almost like you're pressing a grape. And then I'm going to release it away. Another image I like is you have a marble underneath your belly, just right below your belly button. You're trying to roll the marble towards your chest and then roll the marble back towards the pelvis. And just take a moment, visualize the vertebrae in your lumbar spine and think about gently moving them all. The key is gentle. We're just trying to articulate through the vertebrae of the lumbar spine. I'm going to do a few more of these, rocking back and forth. I'm hoping it's feeling a little bit like a lumbar spine massage. And then I'm going to come into some gentle pelvic circles. I'm doing about 5 to one side, just tracing the outline of the back of my pelvis along the mat, almost like I'm doing a hula hoop lying down. And then I'm going to reverse and do the circles the opposite direction. And just notice what you're feeling. Maybe one side of the back is a little bit tighter than the other. That's totally normal. I'm going to do one more this direction. And then we're going to do a gentle hamstring stretch. So if you have your magic circle, you can grab it and you can lift one leg up. I'm starting with my right, and you can straighten it. The circle is around the ball or arch of the foot, whatever's more comfortable. And I'm straightening that right leg from you, whichever leg you're lifting. You're straightening it as much as you can, not pushing. And the most important thing is I'm thinking sits bone of that lifted leg reaches down into the mat, and the foot of that lifted leg reaches up into the ceiling, up towards the ceiling. I'm trying to keep a long spine on the mat, and you can also extend that opposite leg if that feels good. And I'm just going to hold that hamstring stretch and breathe into the back of the leg. One of the best things we can do for our lower backs is to stretch those hamstrings. If you don't have your circle, just keep your hand behind your thigh. One more breath here. We want to hold this for about 30 seconds at least. And then I'm going to switch legs. So my left knee is going to come in towards my chest. I'm going to extend it with the circle around the foot. You may notice one leg can get a lot straighter than the other. For me, that right side is a lot tighter. This is more open. And again, that left foot is reaching up to the ceiling, and that left sits bone is reaching down into the mat. Keeping my spine long. If you'd like, you can take that leg gently across the body, bringing the stretch into the outside of the hip. And then you can bring that leg wide. And then you can lower it back down. The next exercise brings some gentle rotation to the lumbar spine. I'm lying on my back, my knees are bent, shoulder blades firmly on the mat, and I'm gonna rotate my knees to the right, allowing that left hip to pick up just a little bit, even though the left shoulder blade is on the mat. And then I'm gonna bring my knees over to the other side, allowing that right hip to pick up while the shoulder blades stay on the mat. And I'm gonna do a few more like that to the right. Notice a small range of motion. That's the key here. I'm only going from about 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And I'm keeping length in the lumbar spine. And perhaps even just a hint of a round to that low back. Hope you're feeling a nice stretch through the opposite side body. And I hope you might be feeling a little gentle engagement through some of the lower abdominals, the hips, and the obliques. Let's do one more over to the left. And then I'm going to grab my magic circle, and we're going to start with a few exercises to gently build some core strength. So I've placed the magic circle between my thighs, and I'm going to gently squeeze and release. I'm going for about 10 of these, and 8, release, and 7, release, and keep going. And the key is I'm gently squeezing. I'm not trying to break the circle. In fact, I'm trying not to break the circle. And I hope you're feeling some gentle engagement of the inner thighs and perhaps even into the low belly. One more of these. And then I'm going to place the circle around the tops of the knees. Now there's two options. You can place it around the tops of the knees. If it's more comfortable, you can step your legs through the circle. Either one will work. You just want the outside of the thighs pressing into the inner pads of the circle. And then from here, I'm going to press and release. I'm going to move that up just a touch so I get a little more range. I'm going to press out into the circle and release. And I'm doing 10 here, working those outer thighs. Got about 6 more of these. Again, trying to keep that long spine. Relax shoulders. And 3, and 2, and 1. And if that's feeling good, the next exercise we're going to come into is a bridge. I'm going to take my pillow out for this exercise. I'm going to gently press out into that circle. And then I'm going to pick my hips up into a bridge. I'm going to keep gentle pressure on the circle as I melt my spine into the low back. And I'm going to go again. Breathing and moving, keeping a gentle pressure in the circle. Now I am trying to move vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing a hint of round to the lumbar spine. If you have any lower back problems or diagnoses like a herniated disc, it is generally considered safer to pick up a straighter low back into your bridge. That is, if you have an injury, and that would be more like this, where I'm hinging, bending at the hip joint versus the low back. But with time, if it doesn't go against any doctor or PT orders, I encourage you to just start to gently articulate, because ultimately we want that back to be able to move in a gentle and healthy way. And one more like this. And lower back down. If you like this video and you want to continue to strengthen your core through more gentle Pilates exercises with the magic circle, that's what we're going to do in this next video.